moon.
Hello there. I'm Cockles, and this is one of the pre-Worlds interviews. And I'm sat here with the man, the myth, the quote forever champion, uh, Cook. Which kind of eliminates the first question. How you doing, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, been good, man. Just recovered from Spain. That was a big trip, obviously, traveling back and forth, but getting into the heat of it, practicing for Worlds now, so
Mucho
getting
bueno.
excited.
That's good.
Yep.
I'm going to cancel question one because what is your name? Because you are Luke Cook. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Buffalo, New York, which is upstate Western New York, pretty close to Canada, so we're fortunate enough to travel both up there and locally to play Legion, which is cool.
How often do you say the words "e" in sentences if you're that close to Canada?
I actually do say it sometimes, and then it'll be, we force it for joking wise too. But we're pretty close, so we're kind of like, we can say it. We can say it. We're close
You're
enough.
you're one of the few people who can allow to
Yeah,
without being offensive. That works. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
Obviously, you're attending Worlds. Who are you going to go for the? So you've done. Hang on, would it be the three-peat or would it be the four-peat?
Repeat.
The three-peat. We don't talk three-peats if you're talking to sports teams anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what your faction is yet and what list you'll be playing? If you don't, fair enough. But if you've had talk about ideas you've got going on,
No, I'm always dragged back to Boba, and it's hard to leave him behind, especially Empire. I just love the aesthetic of Empire. Um, but I don't know how it fares into the meta currently with clones being out there. I don't know if he can push through against their defensive tech. So I've been trying different lists. I have tried like Inquisitors recently. I'm not so sure how I feel how they fit with Boba. They might need to pair with something else, but I've been testing a bunch of different lists lately. So we'll see. We'll see.
so
It
with that,
feels like, sorry.
no, it feels like go on.
It feels like there's so many rock, paper, scissors situations now. I think it's really going to come down to what matchups you get. There's really no best list currently, I've kind of found. Like, there's no list that can truly take on all the different archetypes that currently exist. So I think it'll be even tougher this year. And with the number of people, it just makes it that much harder.
So with that in mind, for people who may not have seen the stream or seen you play, what would you say you say you mentioned about Bobber being your guy and leaning into
hmm
Empire? What would you say that your playing strengths are? As in, what do you is it because Bobber's your guy, so you know how he plays, so you lean into that, or what would you say your strengths or style are? That sort of thing. Are you aggressive? Are you gun line? What do you prefer?
Yeah, I've always preferred gun lines, but that's where Boba kind of fits in nicely because you still need a playmaker with Legion. If you're playing on recover the supplies or breakthrough or key positions, things like that, that can change up the game a little bit. And Boba's always been like a Swiss Army knife for me. He can do a lot of different things, but he still leans towards gun line, but he supports it well with his command cards and things. So that's kind of why I've always ran back to him because I just feel so comfortable using him.
So hypothetically, if you were to
hmm
take Bobber and Boba, what is the flaw with Boba? As in, what are his weaknesses in using him? And what have you found? Like, so for when in the past when you've used him, what has been his Achilles heel for you when you're using him?
he doesn't like to take chip damage, just random shots, taking wounds early can really hinder his abilities because you don't want to leave him exposed. Especially with the clones out there, fire support shots at the top of a turn. That's just he doesn't want to see that. So it's kind of tough. You got to play him cagey, but also you have to be aggressive with him at times. So you got to know when to just push him out there. So that's where the difficulty in Boba comes playing
Do you
wise.
think we obviously him being the bounty hunter? Do you think there's
Yeah.
lots of nuance between obviously the different bounty hunters bring a different flavor between IG, Bobber, Bosk, etc. And
Yeah.
Cadman.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the hardest to use, and who do you think is maybe the easiest to use out of all the bounty hunters?
That's a good question. I would probably put IG slash Bosk in the easiest to use territory just because they're mostly just guns. They're just really good shooting capabilities. They don't have as much objective play.
Yep.
Cad Bane might be the hardest to use, just because he can be squishy at times. And you really got to set up his command cards in the proper order. And then Boba's about the same as difficult to use, but when you do use those two pieces well, they become like extremely good and
Yeah.
cost effective.
They're
So
high risk, high reward. For me,
yep.
I find them the same as not the same, sorry, the same as some force users. The high
Yeah.
risk using them well,
Hmm.
it can pay off. But
Yep.
if you one small misstep or mismeasurement, that sort of thing, and it will screw you and punish you.
Yep. For
Um,
sure.
what's your? I mean, I feel like winning is probably one of your fondest one. But what's your most
Yeah.
memorable game moment? Is there a specific in the games that you've played at any tournament that you sit there and go, "That was fun. That was cool. How did I pull that off?" Your most memorable game moment or moments?
Oh man, that's pretty tough to say. Obviously, I've been fortunate enough to play in a bunch of tournaments. I think winning winning both Worlds events was awesome. Last year, having the live crew, like gang around, there's probably like 60 people plus watching live, as well as the streaming going on, and we're kind of on the stage too. So that was pretty sweet. Um, the first Adepticon that I ever attended, excuse me, was pretty cool because me and my dad came and we were kind of not known at the time, right? It was just when podcasts were starting up. This was back in 2019. And so we come into the LCQ and we both went 4-0 that day.
Great.
So that was pretty cool because everybody was like, "Oh, the cooks, like what are they feeding them or putting in their drinking water up in Buffalo?" Um,
Is Mr. Cook Senior
that
playing?
was cool. Yes, he's coming this year,
That'd be
so
cool.
that'll be cool. Um, he's he's between lists too. We actually have a local event this Sunday, so we're gonna be testing some things out.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm glad he's coming this year. It's always fun when he's there.
What would you say outside of the playing of the games? What would you say is
Mhm.
your fondest non-game like memories?
I mean, Spain this year was awesome. I was very fortunate to be able to attend that event and play in, a competitive event as well as travel internationally for one. Um, I always just enjoy hanging out with everybody, hearing about, where they come from and just the different cultures that you find, especially when we go to Worlds, where it's internationally, you have I forget last year, but it was maybe 15, 20 plus countries. I think this year will probably be even more. So it's really cool meeting people that you talk to online and then you get to meet them in person and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Just hanging out, having some beers or something. It's a lot of fun.
I'll always be I'll always be fond of the memories of the Spain events.
Yeah.
Spain events, sorry, just specifically the one that will stick in my head is Robert from Sweden, literally drinking all day on the Saturday while playing, then coming
Yeah.
out, drinking still, putting the rest
Yeah.
of the game, and then on a Sunday when we're all feeling a bit bleary eyed, he's
Oh
like,
my God.
"Oh, I've got another beer here," and we're just like, "How are you doing that?"
Yeah. He
Guys,
tried
just need
giving
your
me
breath.
one. I was like, no, I'm good, man. Too
Yeah,
many.
they do things different in Sweden. That must be all
Yeah.
that, but it's impressive. Um, what when you eventually Worlds takes place and all this sort of stuff. At the time of
Mhm.
recording, we should say there's about 4 weeks left, 4 weeks to go.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to come up against in terms of what do you know you in your style and what you're going to play? What do you match up well against?
Typically I like to just face um other gun lines if that's a simple answer, but I think I can usually have some one up on them or something. I always well practice against whatever the meta is. So, Yoda pads and Ewoks and things like that. I'll definitely have a lot of reps against, so I'll be familiar. It's when you play things that you've never seen before, where it's like, all right, we're playing right now. I got to figure out what to do against this list, what they're trying to do really fast. And if it's the first time you're seeing it, sometimes they can have some sneaky tech or something that you're not aware of. So it's always tricky.
And on the flip side of that,
Yeah.
what makes you nervous? What are you going? Oh, it's a tough matchup for what you may. I let's assume you take Bobber. What's
Yep.
a tough matchup? You said about the plinky shots and all this sort of stuff, but what else makes you pause for thought?
So there's obviously a few different SKUs that are currently out there. Armor being one of them. Triple ATST Tempest is very worrisome. If they just get right in your face and they're rolling hot on attack dice the first couple turns and your defensive dice fail, it can swing pretty quick. Same goes for Double Dark Gav. That list is I don't know that people are ready for that list, honestly. I think it's very under the radar at the moment. Um, and people have kind of shifted back away from the impact, and that list could just come through and steamroll people that aren't prepared. And then on the flip side, you have Ewoks, and it's hard to prepare for both armor and Ewoks because you got to have sheer dice, but you need the impact. And then you got clones on the flip side of that you need high velocity pierce. So it's like this triangle thing that you got to have answers to all and
Yeah.
at least give yourself like a 40-60 chance against everything. Oh,
On that, going forward, is there
yeah.
any individual player or players that you go, that firstly you want to play because either you haven't had a chance to play them too much, or they're mates, or just like that'd be fun to beat them because that sort of thing? Or is there anyone you want to, and is there anyone you want to avoid? So who do you want to play for whatever reason, and who do you want to avoid for equally whatever reason?
Well, I never like to underestimate my opponent. So even if I don't know them and I get paired up against them, you got to go into it thinking that they're the best, and you got to play them with your best when you're playing in a single elimination type game. But obviously, there's the big names out there. Kyle, I think it was 2 years ago, me and him got paired round one at a Adepticon, and that was uh pretty wild because everybody was like, oh my god, it's like two of the well-known guys playing against each other round one. So that can be sweaty if you pull a name like Kyle or Dashes or Johannes or people from over in Europe that are well known. Definitely I have some grudge matches that may come up. We'll see. I'm curious to see who I play against, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
You
Yeah.
played Is there anyone you haven't played yet, like ever, and you've gone, no, I really haven't, and it's surprising. Like, have you played Andy, for example?
Uh,
Andy
no,
Terrell.
I haven't. I have not played Andy, only on TTS, so
Okay.
nothing in person. I think we're 1-1
Yeah,
against each other.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Obviously, you've not played me, but then I don't play Worlds. Anyway, can't make it yet. Let's give it so. Fun fact. Is there a fun fact about you that other people may not know, but now they will get to know, and they can go, oh, that's cool.
Oh, geez. I'm an avid golfer, I guess. I've kind of become addicted to golfing. That's not really that fun of a fun
Yeah,
fact, but
I think, as I said to you in Spain, I think you're 30 years too young to be playing that game yet.
I know. My good buddies got me into it. Now I'm addicted. I play like 50 rounds a year, and in
Oh,
Buffalo, that's a lot because we only have
yeah.
like 5 months to play. So,
I'll tell you what, if you ever get to come out to the UK, you've got to play on some of the links courses up in Scotland.
yes,
You'll
definitely.
just lose your ball everywhere and that sort of thing there you go.
Yep, that's on my
Um,
bucket list.
there you go. So Luke Cook, keen golfer and Star Wars Legion. That's a
Mhm.
definite Venn diagram short thing that you only fit in that one, to be fair, I think. And well, lastly then, obviously you play out of Buffalo. Is there
Yep.
any local store or club that you'd like to give a shout out to, or any friends that you just want to say, hey, I'll see you there, that sort of thing?
Yeah, actually, so the Buffalo crew, I think we got like eight people coming in for Worlds that all got invites. So that'll be cool that we'll have like a congregate of Buffalo folks coming in. We play at Heart of the Game. It's a local gaming store. We've been starting Tuesday night. We play there pretty much every Tuesday, trying to get practice in for Worlds. And they run events for us too there, and it's really cool.
Do you think that you're obviously playing out of that store? Do you think that your friends out of that store, your mates out there, get a I wouldn't say an advantage, but maybe get a an insight? Obviously, because you have that and you have your reputation. So one, you come with. So when everyone sees you, you have that target on your back, and at the same time, you have the converse where everyone goes, "Oh crap, I'm playing against Luke. What do I do?" So
Yeah.
do you think that your buddies out in Buffalo, they have that little bit of an advantage where other players may not, if they come up against you? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because me personally, but it's anybody that's experienced in Legion is gonna raise the bar of everybody that they play against. And I'm always helping them out if they have questions and trying to make them aware of things that I read online on Discord or Facebook and different strategies and stuff, and try to bring it to the local store and just get everybody better so that we're well practiced and ready to go.
So the
Yeah.
final statement is a simple yes or no. Is the three-peat on?
We're gonna try, man. We're gonna try. We'll take it one game at a time.
No, that's all. Well, we look forward to seeing you there. Obviously, I will see you there. And for those who
Yep.
aren't attending, this is Luke. Now you get to see what he looks like in person, and when you see it on the stream and go, "Ah, that's the dude." So,
Yep.
Luke,
Come
thanks for
say
joining.
hi. Yep.
Yeah, come say hello. Luke, thanks for joining us, and we'll
Absolutely.
see you at Worlds.
Thanks for having me. Yep. See you at Worlds.
That's no moon.